Hello there, peeps. This is LICHT once again, and this is it, the final showdown! But before we get to that, we gotta drop in on some old enemies. Let's start out with Krako, my new nightmare boss. Even harder than Kabula. Okay, so that's a solid platform, not a pass-through platform. I've been wondering that. Anyways, each boss has a small mini-stage before it based off of its stage of origin, to add length to the overall stage. And Krako's being based off bubbly clouds, not even gonna comment. Krako, on the other hand, if I didn't make it clear, he still makes me panic. I've even gotten better at facing Kabula, and that's... I don't know why I thought Krako was even slightly easy during the bubbly clouds perfect run. Don't you dare use your beam. There we go. It's better to stay on middle height on the screen, because that way you drop to the ground faster and can inhale the wild ooze faster. However, that does pose a higher risk of him doing the downward curve, which I so greatly dread. So with that Kabula is done, hopefully for the last time. I mean, Krako. Yeah, you can tell just how many times I've tried this. It's an easy stage, just 3 bosses with K, man, as the first letter of their name. Krako especially. So anyways, Kabula's is based off of float islands. Yeah, not really much to say here. This part you gotta be careful here, of course. That's probably the one and only part where you need to be really careful, though. Just out of clumsiness. Oh no! A Gordo is covering the door! Whatever shall we do? Clone Kirby saves the day! I don't really know if that counts as a copyability item or not, but obviously, as you could tell, since a Gordo was covering the door, I had to use it. So I think that, due to the nature of that one, even though it clears all the enemies on the screen, it's more of like a gimmick item, rather than a copyability item. Anyways, each boss lobby is only 1 room long. Kabula just has 2, because the room where you get the mint seed counts as part of her arena. And I've gotten better at facing Kabula. I've learned some strategies against her. First off, you want to get as many hits as you can before the fight starts. Hopefully getting her down 2 bars of health. And try to stay, she switches like a cannon on top of her sprite and cannon on bottom. Try to stay on the side that the cannon is not on, and that'll be better. I've also gotten better at, following her, and I'm getting better at beating her before I can finish my explanation. Anyways, la time. Yeah, Krako is definitely the hardest. Hopefully this last I have to deal with him. This one mask enemy can make you panic if you don't know how to deal with it. Just jump and then inhale. Yeah, just with how it's placed and how close you need to get to it to activate it, yeah. Anyways, now, a hop and a skip to the shimmying Kirby, to the Kirby shimmying to the edge. And, la. This really isn't that hard. You just need to make sure you don't panic and jump or fall too early and fall onto their sprite, because you need to get pretty close to inhale. You need to be pretty close to inhale the block from behind them. And that can and if you time it wrong, you can sometimes accidentally run into their sprite, which can be annoying. I don't know how it didn't happen to me on Castle LOL, maybe because this is a harder stage, and I kinda panicked there. Come on, take your hit like a mini-man. What the... And I almost thought I'd fall there. Now, Wispy. Okay, gotta remind myself not to just, bounce into his nose, because I did that in one of my attempts here again. One of my first attempts, actually. I actually did well on one of my first attempts. And then the 3 bosses with K. Namely, well, one of them is King Dedede, who is the final boss. So really, it's the two of the 3 bosses that begin with K. So just bounce here and get under the nose. The air puffs, as long as you stay under the nose, really, why bother worrying about them? There's really, you don't need to worry about them. As long as you don't just flat out jump into them. But, yeah, yeah. Anyways, now for King Dedede. Deep breath. Another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go. King Dedede isn't too hard, but he can be pretty tricky if you don't know how to deal with him. Basically, you want to stick in the near middle of the screen as much as possible. And if he dashes at you without his hammer out, always hover over him. If he dashes at you with his hammer out, move back a bit, try to jump over him, if he started dashing at you before you started hovering over him. Get away from me! Come on. Alright, moving back a bit. If you, try to hover over him, and you've already started, before he brought out his hammer, then he'll jump hit you, and that's, you don't want that to happen if that's your escape route. If your escape route is hovering, I mean. But yeah, you always want to stick a good distance away from him so that you can tell what he's doing, but, you know. Yeah, now I'm gonna focus on the battle. I don't want to fail again. Hopefully I won't. I practiced each of these bosses a lot off camera. 2 more hits, come on. Bring out your hammer. No, that's too dangerous. Come on. Give me an edible attack, please. I'll take it! Ha ha ha! Yes! Finally! I never have to deal with Kracko in Kirby's Dreamland 1 ever again. Now, actually, I'm gonna record the credits in a different recording session, because I want to make sure that Cam Studio actually compresses this. So yeah, be back in a bit. Alright, so here we go with the ending. Kirby absorbs the 5 stars, and the first presence of a copy ability in a Kirby game! Balloon Kirby! Yeah, since this was first game in the Kirby series, obviously that can be considered. That makes it so it can be considered the first presence of a copy ability in a Kirby game. There is actually a Balloon Kirby copy ability, but that appears in later games, I think. Theory of the day. So anyways, yeah, that was Mount Dedede, the final stage. And, it's really not that difficult. You do have to go through all the bosses, and then King Dedede, and as well as the mini-stages. But the mini-stages aren't really that difficult. I failed a few times on them just from clumsiness, but yeah, and so many players, me included, yay! And yeah, basically, the main problems for a while were King Dedede, Kabula, and Kracko. I only had one outtake, really, where I failed on King Dedede, though, because that was actually my second time getting to him, on camera. And actually without save states in a practice run. But yeah, I quickly learned how to deal with Kabula, and that was no problem. Kabula really isn't that much of a problem now. It's only Krako that's a problem. Ugh. But yeah. Bye-bye, Kirby. And Dedede, mouth open. Like, jaw drop. Ultimate jaw drop. Tantrum. And anyways, yeah, now here it tells us about the extra game. By pressing up A and select on the title screen, you can, you know what, I think I'll show this off real quick. So, A, B, start select, up, A, and select. And as you can see, we can now access the extra game. This basically, it makes it so, some enemies are changed to have different AIs and different things they can do. And the boss AIs are drastically changed. I already explained Kabula's AI, but you're about to see the first mini-boss. I think the enemy placement might have changed a bit too. And chickens! Normally they were chicks. Like I said, I still don't remember the name. And Bronto birds have been replaced by those pointy-nosed enemies. And Cappy's by these, I know it's supposed to be a mushroom, but it looks so much like a cupcake. Yeah, those Bronto birds are less predictable. And some enemies actually cause 2 hits of damage to you. And don't worry. Yeah, you see there. And, now let me show you just how much the mini-boss has changed. He throws his bombs faster, and instead of jumping at you and warning you about that he's gonna come to the side of the screen, and it's really much harder to hit him, too, to be honest. Yeah, he just slides. The only hint is that he veers back a bit. And that's actually my first time beating that mini-boss, I think, in extra mode. Or maybe my second time, I don't know. But yeah, this is why I don't plan to perfect run the expert mode. I've heard bad things about Krako and Krako Jr. in it. Really don't want to have to deal with that. But yeah, just to show this there.
So give me a good beat, Kelly. It's a great beat. Are you ready at home? Penguins, attention! Penguins, begin! 1 arm, have you ever seen a penguin come to tea? Take a look at me, a penguin you will see. Penguins, attention! Penguins, begin! Both arms, have you ever seen a penguin come to tea? Take a look at me, a penguin you will see. Penguins, attention! Penguins, begin! Both arms, 1 leg. Have you ever seen a penguin come to tea? Take a look.
I haven't learned any tricks, but yeah. Fortunately, you can choose the order you face the bosses, so by handling the harder bosses first, that should be easier. Yeah. Also, since I can face her first before the other bosses earlier in the stage, that makes it less stressful unless that happens. Huh. Well, I have gotten better. I hate that mask enemy. It's so badly placed. Well, here we go again. Yeah, I've learned some tricks, or I've learned how she works. That might be something worth testing. Damn it! I realized I was gonna do that seconds before. Well, at least this isn't too many tries yet. At least I'm like at only my second try on this stage. Don't fail miserably. Like that. Or, more importantly, like that. I got hit by bosses that push blocks at you. And it wasn't the Dark Guardian in Sonic Unleashed. Okay, that's embarrassing. You just want to make sure the fight doesn't drag on too long. Huh? Mom? Okay, that ends this perfect run. Just like I was saying, don't panic. And don't be stupid. Why did I move left there? Clumsy! I'll never get through if I'm purely clumsy. This is what, inspired... Oh, bad setup, bad. Cornered by Waddle Doos. I think Krakow is gonna end up being more of a problem than Kabula, to be honest. Speedrunner blood in me. Oh, you are kidding me! Well, that's cruel. What? Jerk. Well, less panic, I guess. And more stupidity. And here's where I stop keeping outtakes for Krakow. Just mix it up there. Really? Really? Okay, Ow. I'll make your death quick. And... what just happened there? I have no idea how I avoided getting hit, and then I inhaled, and then I got... well... darn it. In a perfect run. That did not hit me. That did not hit me. Ugh. You're kidding me. Krakow, you are my new nightmare boss for this game. Okay. I'm just gonna keep that one because that sliding from inhaling. That each boss has a small. I don't know how to respond to that. Except by stopping the recording. Mount Dedede overall. Kinda like Mega Man Unlimited's boss rush, how it had us. You know what? I won't that was my first time mentioning Mega Man Unlimited in one of my runs. I will not mention it again.
So, yeah, that was the final stage. It really wasn't that difficult, though. The only real difficulty came from the 3 bosses whose names just began with K. It got to the point where I just stopped saving outtakes for failing on Kabula or Krakow. I'll explain the rest after the raid shows up. I give Mount Dedede a 5 out of 10. This stage took me nowhere near as many tries as Port Island, mostly due to the fact that it is mostly bosses, and nothing in the mini-stage jumps out at you. It still is possible to fail on the mini-stages, but that mainly only happens from clumsiness. LICHT is obviously no problem, just as long as you remember not to bounce nose like I did for the nth time. I'm just so used to Superstar Ultra where the nose doesn't hurt you like in the early games. That kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that happens when you get used to the first game of a series that you like, then check out the older games in the series to find out there's something like that. Lololo and La, they're basically the same, though there is a tiny bit of panic in fighting them. Since my strategy was to get behind them and inhale their blocks that way, I don't really have much space for error there. It's not too bad, but you can jump straight into them if your timing is off. It's still a better strategy than inhaling from the front, though, definitely. Tabula isn't as hard for me anymore as she was. The key to beating her without panicking is to beat her quickly so you have less cannonballs to dodge in the long run. Staying on the opposite side of the balloon from the cannon also gives you a good strategy, as that way it's easier to avoid getting smacked right in the face with a cannonball. Rocco, too good. I don't know why I thought he was easier in public class, but he was the true bane of my existence in this stage. Even though floating at middle height on the screen helps, there's no foolproof strategy to use against him. The fight may have become easier since I learned that strategy, but it was still not fun, not in the slightest. I miss the Krakow from Superstar Ultra. He's easier to do no damage with no ability. Then there's the big bird himself, King Dedede. He's actually not that hard. There are some strategies that make the fight a lot easier, though he still isn't a walk in the park like LICHT or Lololo and La. He can corner you and end a perfect run pretty easily if you're not careful. That's why it helps to stay a certain distance away from him, while also not sticking too far to the side. And with that, we are officially done with the perfect run for Kirby and Dreamland. This is definitely a better choice of a series for me to challenge myself on than Mega Man Zero. I don't think I'll beat a Mega Man stage no damage anytime soon, even a loud alternate weapon. But that's okay, because that's what Rome Mithril does.
Now to talk about my plans for this year. My next project is going to be a Let's Play of the Wii version of Sonic Unleashed, one of my favorite games from when I was younger. Also, I've recently beaten the 360 version, so I'll be able to show off some bonus footage. I'm not planning to LP the 360 version given how long and at times ridiculously difficult it is, but I'll show off the differences in main stages, differences in bosses, how the 360 version actually operates compared to the Wii version, that sort of stuff. For the Wii version, however, I do plan to get all the medals, which means, of course, getting S ranks on all the daytime stages and doing all the missions, that sort of thing. But all that and more when it actually happens. Something to note, I will need some time before I can upload any of the parts because of the way I'm recording it. I'll update as soon as possible. Of course, it'll just take a while, so be patient. I'm not planning to abandon my channel again. I don't really know how long that project will last, though, so I have no ideas on what to do after that. I have no plans, I mean. I have no plans on what to do after that, just ideas. I do, however, have a planned Halloween project. Obviously, it will be quite a while before that comes around, but just to put it out there. So with that, thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the series, and look forward to my Sonic Unleashed playthrough coming soon. Until then, bye ya!